it's hard to quantify the careers of offensive linemen. There is little glory down in the trenches. Perhaps a better measure is the success of those around them. During Rayfield Wright's tenure with the Cowboys, Wright protected Hall of Fame quarterback Roger Staubach from the likes of Carl Eller, Deacon Jones, and Jack Youngblood. And he also opened up running lanes for Calvin Hill, Robert Newhouse, and Tony Dorsett. Now, 27 years after his retirement, the young man from Griffin, Georgia, is finally getting his due.
What can you tell us about growing up in Georgia and getting started playing football?
You know, I never will forget going out for football, you know, in my freshman year in college, and I mean in high school, and my God, I couldn't even make the high school football team, so I didn't play high school football. I became a basketball player.
Wright's prowess on the hardwood earned him a scholarship to Fort Valley State University in Georgia. He soon learned that his athletic scholarship also required him to play football. He excelled in each sport, earning All-American honors. As his college career was concluding, Wright was focusing on a scheduled tryout with the NBA's Cincinnati Royals until the Dallas Cowboys came calling.
Coming up to the draft date for football, I get a phone call. And I get a phone call from this guy in Dallas named Gil Brandt.
When the Cowboys drafted him, they drafted him, you know, as quote, Gil Brandt School best athlete available. And they thought, this guy, you know, he's got great athletic tools. We can make a football player out of him.
He has great athletic ability. As I said, I think he led the nation in rebounding as a basketball player. So I think when you can do that and play football, that tells you what kind of an athlete you are.
Well, here's another example of Gil Brandt going out there and finding this, it's cliche now, diamond in the rough, just knowing this guy's got to play somewhere.
This diamond was drafted by the Cowboys in the 7th round of the 1967 draft. He played sparingly in his first 2 seasons until a position switch was proposed.
After I played tight end for 2 years, and I was a pretty good blocker at tight end, Coach Landry called me into his office. He said, I want you to move to offensive tackle. And I looked at him and I said, well, Coach, I said, I never played that position before in my life. And I said, if you believe that I can best help this football team by going in this position I never played before in my life, I'll give it everything I have. And he looked at me and said, I believe. And then we just shook hands on it. The first time that I had a chance to start in the NFL was against the Rams. Coach Landry called me in his office and said, Rayfield, you're going to start this week. And I'm thinking the Rams, I'm thinking the fearsome foursome, I'm thinking Deacon Jones. So Staubach was starting quarterback at that time. He was starting that game, and he called the play. And I'm looking at Deacon Jones, squaring his eyes, you know, and his eyes was red as fire, man. He's kicking his back leg like a bull. And then I hear a voice in such a deep, strong, you know, kind of meaningful voice, you know. He says, boy, he said, do your mama know you out here? He comes across the line of scrimmage and hit me, boom, knocked me back. Deacon Jones reached his big arms down there to help me up off my back, and he said, hey, rookie. He said, welcome to the NFL. I said, Mr. Jones, you don't know my mama. Don't talk about her. You want to play the game this way, we'll play it. I had a great day against Mr. Jones. I was voted the MVP of the game. I had the game ball, and Coach Landry never took me out of that position.
The Big Cat went on to anchor the Cowboys to 5 Super Bowls, was elected to 6 straight Pro Bowls, and was named to the 1970s All-Decade team.
I think they'll look back and say that he's one of the top offensive linemen of all time.
Came to work, did his job, did it well, never complained, always was a team player. Working in the Tom Landry system, I think that's an ingredient that you have to succeed.
In the 1970s, the Cowboys went to a record 5 Super Bowls. They ranked in the top 10 in scoring all 10 seasons. They led the NFC in offense 6 times. There were only 2 constants on that offense from 70 to 79, Roger Staubach and Rayfield Wright.
People don't know a lot about Rayfield Wright. There's still an opinion left to be formed.
Yes.
What would you like people to think about you?
That I was a great athlete when I played the game. And the humbleness of me going into the offensive line. You see, the offensive line is It's a machine. And there's no one player that makes this machine run. And Coach Landry, I never will forget what he said to me one time. He said, Rayfield, he said, you really developed into a great athlete. So you're going to get a lot of awards, a lot of accolades. But I want you to always remember this. No matter how many accolades you receive, he said, you will never be greater than the team. That was the Dallas Cowboys.
Rayfield Wright. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Cowboys, including their first Super Bowl title in franchise history. Dallas won nearly 75% of their games during Wright's 13-year NFL career, with the 6-time Pro Bowler leading Big D to 5 NFC championships.